This segment of the show, we're going to talk about something that's been going on now, I guess about a week. And I've been thinking about it and looking at it and trying to make some sense out of it. And that is the LeBron James leaving the Cleveland Cavs, going to the Miami Heat. And the owner of the Cleveland Cavs, Dan Gilbert. I'm confused because when I thought about this whole issue, and I realized LeBron James' mother was 15 years old when she became pregnant with him, and she was able to have a kid. And now, according to LeBron, as he started to grow up, they moved so many times. I mean, maybe, the way he said it, they moved almost every so many months. They were moving somewhere, or however often it was. But he made it clear that they moved quite a lot. And through all that movement, you never heard like LeBron was dealing with anything illegal. You never heard that he did anything bad. You never heard that he was a dropout. You never heard that he was breaking anything. No juvenile problem, no nothing. His mother was able to maintain, with the help of maybe whomever around her. I don't know who it was, since she was pretty young as a mother. But you wonder, why am I talking about this? Because it's important to what I'm getting ready to say. Because through all that, LeBron went to high school. He was an All-American, okay, and was an All-American, and left high school and came into the league. Was drafted in 2003, okay, by the Cleveland Cavs, which was one of the sorriest teams that ever played in the NBA. Okay, it was in the NBA for 40 years. It came in as an expansion team back in 1970, and it was downright pathetic. In their first year in the league, they went 15-67. I can accept that. It's the first year in the league. Things happen. You're an expansion team. You don't have any good players. Nobody wants to play on your team because you're an expansion team. It's bound to happen. Hey, it happened to a lot of teams. But then the next 5 years, it was no better. They still suck. Then they turn around and they tried in 1976, 75-76 season. They had one little first place finish, and then nothing for 32 years until LeBron James came on the scene. They own some of the worst records in the league. Matter of fact, they lost 19 straight games toward the end of one season and came back the next season and tacked on another 5. That's still a record today, if I'm not mistaken. The losing streak in NBA history. If not, then it's got to be the second losing streak in NBA history. Because Cleveland Cavs, they sucked. They were never no good. They was just a terrible team. And then, Mr. Dan Gilbert, I call him Mr. as a tongue-in-cheek, because the guy's a jerk. He's an absolute jerk. He's a crybaby. He's a whiner. He's a jerk. And he's an idiot. All rolled into one. Why do I say that? Simple. Because he brought LeBron James onto his team. And I need to explain to the people that have been crying and whining about Cleveland. Cleveland doesn't even deserve to be in the NBA. They're awful. They were absolutely awful. LeBron James came there. His first season, he played sparingly. They won 35 games. Need to tell you that they were losing games before he got there. I don't have to explain again from 1976, 75-76 season to the first time they made it to a first place finish, which underneath LeBron James playing was some 30-something years. I think it was 32 years between their first place finishes. That's ridiculous. That's 3 decades of being sorry and not finishing in first place. So LeBron James comes in. His first season, I think they go 35 wins and whatever amount of losses. The second year, they go 42-40, 2 games above 500. But after that, it skyrockets. They finished second place 2 seasons in a row and first place 2 seasons in a row, handing the Cavs the second. There was 1 game short of the best record ever that we know was set by the Chicago Bulls. Okay, so for the owner of the Cleveland Cavs to criticize LeBron James and say that he stopped playing in the playoffs, and anybody that watch would know that, and that he laid down and self-appointed himself king when he's not, and all this other garbage. He's a whiner, a crybaby that used to having his own way, and he's going to try to bring someone down that never brought that sorry team of his into recognition, made them somebody when they was absolutely nobodies. He say LeBron didn't perform up to par. Well, I don't understand, because according to the NBA, which is he should know about since he's an owner over there, LeBron James won the MVP 2 years in a row. This past season and the season before that, leading the Cleveland Cavs to the best record ever. 1 year, 61 wins, 61. And I think they fell one short. If I remember, they fell one short of the NBA record. Who's responsible for that? Obviously, LeBron James is responsible for that. Because he wouldn't have been whining if LeBron would have stayed in Cleveland. LeBron played out his 7-year contract. He didn't ask to leave early. He didn't say I wanted more money during the middle of the contract. He didn't do anything. He played out his 7-year deal, just like he should have. Took the money that he agreed to play for, and then decided after he did his time under a contract. He don't own LeBron James. He owned the contract. LeBron didn't owe him actually anything. According to him, he says, well, LeBron, he didn't take my text messages and he didn't take my... Then, idiot, if he hadn't been responding to you, wouldn't you know that more than likely he's not going to play on your sorry team anymore? That he's going to go... Because he made your team what it is. It was one time the Cleveland Cavs seated 20,000 people, was only holding an average number of 3,900. You know what you know how ridiculous that sound? That means that almost 16,000 seats, well, basically 16,000 seats minus one, was empty on every game. You can't tell me that LeBron did not sell that place out every time he played. Cleveland Cavs had never, ever, ever. As a matter of fact, LeBron was Rookie of the Year as well. Defensive play, all defensive player on the team. Bro, it just goes on and on and on. It's ridiculous to hear this guy get on TV and whine about what LeBron didn't do. Whine about what LeBron should have done. Said that LeBron was selfish. He was selfish. Then if he was selfish like he said he would have, if my understanding right, and I'm not in the contract, but I understand he left $30 million on the table. If that's true, then obviously he ain't playing for the freaking money. Because if somebody decides I'm going to leave $30 million on the table to go play for the Miami Heat, he's doing what every player has done since Pop Warner. You know what that is? Since you go into the Little League, like most of us always played in Little League, most of us have. When you go to Little League, you go there for one reason. You play the game to win. When you get into junior high schools and high school, you play the game to win. If you go to college, you play the game to win. When you get into pros, you play the game to win. LeBron James left money on the table at Cleveland because he didn't think he could win there. He wanted to go to Miami where he figured he would have a better team in place and maybe they can win. What's wrong with going to a team that has a better chance of winning? Every player in every league around the United States, it would be lying if they didn't say they wanted to go to a team where they had an opportunity to win. People was complaining about that, saying, oh, he should be playing against them, not trying to join them so he can win. Who the hell wouldn't want to win? That's what you play the game for. That's what you do your whole life. You want to be a winner. If you're not playing the game to win, then I suggest you stop playing the game because you're not playing it for the right reason. But this is a business. It's not just go out there and put on your uniform. The uniform they wear is like when people go to their jobs. It just happens to be a pair of shorts and a tank top. And they have to be a ball, maybe then a pen, a piece of paper, or a notebook, or whatever that you might be using on your job. He's in a job, and his job is to do the best job he can for the company that he works for. Cleveland sucked. I'm going to keep on saying it. They sucked. They cry, baby. They sucked when they got football. With the Cleveland Browns, they could never win that neither. They sucked and with the Indians, and they sorry too. So they all suck. So Cleveland, as far as I'm concerned, all you people out there that want to go out there and pay the fine for Gilbert and his nonsense he's talking, pay the freaking fine. While you at it, why don't you try for the team? They can't do no worse. Y'all sorry too. So go on out there and get on the team. Matter of fact, Gilbert, why don't you get on the team? Show us your skill. I'm sure you got better skill than LeBron James, or as you call it, self-appointed King James. My understanding is King James comes from the fans. I don't think LeBron ever called himself king. I think the fans named him King James. Why would he do that? He's never seen him be the kind of guy, though I don't know him personally, that has gone out and bragged on himself. I think he controlled himself perfectly well, considering the background he grew up in, as far as not being able to necessarily have a father figure in the home and having such a young mother, and still was able to maintain his cool, went through all this stuff he did and all these cameras in his face when he was playing basketball. Because he was such a phenomenon, everybody wanted to talk to Mr. LeBron James. And through all that, he kept his cool. What is it to talk about? He did the right thing. All you people that are complaining need to just shut your freaking mouth, because he doesn't owe the Cleveland fans anything. Matter of fact, they owe him, because he brought some excitement to their sorry town. So if anything, They need to be digging in their pockets since they want to do so much to pay for something. Spend some money, give it back to LeBron from coming and entertain your sorry behind for the 7 years he was there.